Monday, first Monday of the new year. Good day to get after it. Hopefully, if you haven't started yet, today's the day. Getting some pre-workout in. Gonna hit some heavy back today. Probably a lot of different pulling motions. Maybe some pull-ups in there too. And I think we're gonna hit some biceps as well. So, listening to the body, listen to what's sore, what's recovered, which is important. And yeah, let's have a good episode.
Okay, we started with some seated lat pull downs with the cable handles. As you've heard me rave about this before, I prefer to do lat pull downs with the cable handles. I think it's almost the equivalent of doing bench press with dumbbells instead of the barbell. There's a little bit more room to work on your squeezing. Don't get me wrong, a lat pull down with a regular bar is still a good movement. But with the handles, the way you can manipulate them during the rep and pull down and squeeze on each side of you compared to where your hands would be over or under in front of you coming down, I don't think there's any comparison. Looking at this, the next time I do these, I will lengthen the handle a little bit more, and I will try to go even further on the row on the way down. I will continue to try to keep going further and further past my chest, and of course extending all the way out. Those arms got to be straight at the top. Okay. I usually do them on the box instead of the bench for the reason that I like it to be, as you can see that machine, it's all the way to the top, the cable adjustment. And I like a little bit more of a pull down than a pull across, like a row. So the box is a little lower than the bench, so that's usually what I'll lean to. If I want to get really crazy, as you'll see in the next set, I'll either use like a yoga mat or I'll use one of the box step-ups to sit on. But great movement. Absolutely great movement. If you've never done pull-downs, lat pull-downs with cable handles, give it a try if your gym has them. I know it's kind of hard with some lat pull-down handles. They don't have the option to extend on them. They don't have the extra rings. They're just a basic handle, so it makes it a little tougher. But if you can get your hands on these, they're great for a lot of things, not just lat pull downs. They're also really good for tricep extensions. Completely different feel than like your usual rope or your cone attachment. So we're doing these as slow as we can. Time under tension. These I love. You can stabilize yourself with one hand. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring that elbow to our hip, even touch the hip. And we're really trying to almost flex that right side of the lat on the way down, at the bottom. When we get to the bottom, we should feel like we can fly away with the wings. So, and the reason that I use the other hand to stabilize, I feel that gives you more stability and focus on where we're trying to go with the motion. You're holding your whole body still with one hand, so you're really using that other arm just for that portion of your body. So that's a great tip. I actually saw a C-bum do that in a video a long time ago. I thought that's kind of interesting. Okay, this set I took the other 45 off. I had two 45s on there. I went down to 145 and really focused on bringing that elbow down as far as I possibly could. And I also, like I said before, I like to sit on pretty close to the floor. So the motion of this pull down is almost straight up and down. I mean, as you can see, it comes back towards me a little bit when we're trying to pull the elbow all the way to the hip. But the majority of that rep is straight up and down. So we're hitting a lot of lower lat. And it's okay to turn into the rep to get the elbow down there. Plus the seat on the floor gives you more room to reach up, because like I always tell you, you want to get a full stretch of the lat at the top. We want that arm all the way out. Okay. Then we hopped over to some back extensions. I generally hold a 45-pound plate pretty close to the chin. When you do these, you don't really want the weight low. That's the missing the whole point. We want it to be above your chest line, the majority of the weight. I had a crazy, crazy, crazy lower back pump as soon as we got done with these. Almost felt like we were doing straight-legged deadlifts. It was a really good feeling, um, but also a feeling of we're in the right spot. 45 pounds was good. Anywhere between 10 and 12 was what I was looking for. All the way down, all the way back straight at the top. Okay. And these are one of my favorite back movements for back day. The lateral ring ups here. The cool part about video recording yourself is when you're doing something you don't like, you're able to fix it. And you see it more on video. So you see me, I got a little bit of a middle of my body is kind of hanging a little bit on that set. So I was looking at it after I did it, and I was like, well, I want to be more straight. Like I want to get my feet up on that box, and I want my body to be straight as an arrow. And after I saw that, as you can see, my posture is a lot better on this set. It's okay to correct mistakes in the gym. And it sometimes it takes you video recording yourself to be like, man, I don't think I'm doing this right. And that's okay too. Okay, well, we finished up back. Hopped over to some squeezing cable curls. Now, this is super light, but I'm doing these slow and I'm really squeezing the handles on this. Same thing. All the way down. Arms straight at the bottom, and we're squeezing. You can see my face turning red. I am not struggling with this. I am squeezing this to the point where I had to let off there for a second for a hand cramp. But that first few sets of biceps for the day, a really hard squeeze, and squeezing at the top of that rep too, is just excellent. Get the blood flowing and do them nice and slow. The slower the better. Hope everybody got a good training session in today. Whatever you were training, as long as you were training, hopefully you got something good in. Today kind of felt like the reset. Everybody went back to school. Everybody went back to work. Here I did some slow, almost preacher curls on the cable curl machine. Finding a good elbow placement here and coming all the way down. Squeezing at the top. And like I always tell you guys with arms, the slower the better. Let them grow. Yeah, over time you start to realize what works for you and what doesn't work for you for each body part. Um, I'm not a huge cable guy, but I'm a huge cable arm guy. Um, I think it's a good way to start out an arm workout. We didn't hit a lot of biceps here. I finished up with these. We did 3 sets on the straight bar, some preachers, and then I finished up with a little set of cheat curls here with 135. Just give them a little heavy at the end of the workout. So, hope you guys enjoyed the content. We will be back tomorrow.